Grant and Brad's Ghastly Gab.
Submitted for the approval of Grant and Brad's Ghastly Gab. We're back.
To put the society in your midnight.
We are the society to your midnight. Okay, so this is another thing I thought of. So this episode was... I thought about this because... I don't know why I thought about this, but in 5th grade, Miss Lott's class, Highland Park. Okay. I can't remember. Were you in Miss Lott's?
Yeah.
So you were in class together? Okay. I can't remember who's in that class at all.
I think all of us were.
Okay. But I feel like that I had a crush on Erin Taylor, and she was in a different class.
Miss Perot?
Miss Perot?
Is that her name?
The only teacher I remember from that class, I probably shouldn't say this stuff, but is that I remember is Miss Yagnasek.
I was just going to say it, Miss Yagnasek.
I think every boy had a crush on Miss Yagnasek.
Jesus,
she taught 4th grade.
Never had her.
So we were tasked to write. It was a hardcover book because I remember being really excited that like after you wrote the pages, you got to put it in like it was like cardboard, but like you could put like a cover on it, and it was like a hardcover book. And
Okay.
I wrote a hardcover book. So I mean, I can't remember anything. It's 5th grade. I don't know why I didn't think of an original story. I don't know if it's just because I just watched this or what, but I basically wrote like word for word now that I've revisited, like word for word, didn't change a thing. I wrote an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Really?
The laughing in the dark, the clown one with the cigar.
Okay.
All that. And I got it I think I got an A. I got a good grade on it. I was so proud of myself. But like why? Like all I did was rip off somebody else, and just got lucky the teacher had no idea what the fuck I was talking about.
Why would she?
So I was mad because I tried to look for this book. I swear I still have it. I couldn't find it.
Okay.
Because I wanted to bring it over, and I kind of wanted to have you read it, and like we go through it. So then that just led into probably one of my more fonder memories of growing up, watching Are You Afraid of the Dark on Saturday nights. On Snick. It was part of the Snick lineup.
Which was just Saturday night Snick.
Nickelodeon on Saturday night. But you felt cool for watching it. Because you had, like Clarissa? Well, like, there's a bunch of different versions, I feel. There was, like, a Doug version as well.
There might have been. I remember it being more adult than that, I guess.
That's the other thing, too, is I felt as maybe, like, that preteen, teen kid, I felt as though it was, like, teen stuff. Like,
yeah, it was Pete and Pete.
See, yeah, there's a Pete and Pete time. There was a Clarissa time. Because all that, I feel like, was an hour long.
Dude Ranch?
Or Hey Dude.
Hey Dude, I'm sorry.
Was Hey Dude
Salute
on
Your
Snick?
Shorts? Were those on there?
I thought those two were like the Sunday
mornings?
afternoon. Like Sunday morning, yeah.
I don't know, maybe.
But I feel like all that was an hour long. Like, there was a lot of shows that, I mean, I guess we could look it up.
Yeah, you keep talking all.
But yeah, like, from what I remember, there was like, the first show always changed. Like, you got one time with Doug, you got one time with Clarissa, you got a time with Pete and Pete, then you got an hour with all that, which was like the teen SNL, I guess is the best way I would say it.
All that, yeah, with Keenan.
With Keenan and Kel. And then at 9:30, the 9:30 block was always Are You Afraid of the Dark? I think.
Yeah, I believe you're
right. That
right.
could have changed too. And that felt cool because you were up late and you could watch these scary stories. And I try to watch them in the dark. And I don't know why, but I always have this memory of in the summer. I think you remember the rec room, we called it.
Yeah.
There was that back door that we snuck out of, but like right next to it there were two big windows, and there was like this like long couch, and it faced the TV.
Yep.
And in the summer,
I've slept on that.
Yeah, in the summer we had the windows up, and I just remember like you hear like the summer, like the crickets and stuff like that, and you feel the summer at like 9:30, like it's warm, kind of breathe.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about when you were younger. And
yeah, like summer seems so
June.
And I remember just always staying up and having the lights off, and then whenever they would, they'd go through that opening, that fucking the swing, and the opening of the attic and all that stuff. And I remember when they would light, like they'd light the match, it would like light up the whole room because I tried to watch it in the dark because I could do it because I was old enough to handle those types of scary stories. You know? And so yeah, that's a memory that I always have. Don't remember watching it in the winter, I guess, but I'm sure I did. But that's the other thing. Looking up stuff. I guess it started in 1990, and I don't feel as though I watched it then.
No, but I think it was just a a Halloween special, and it was the Twisted Claw one. Is what I believe. So Snick, so we don't get too far off. I feel like I've done this look up a lot. Snick and TGIF, because TGIF had a lot of changes too. Yes, this had some changes. So 92, 93, you pretty much got it. Was Clarissa at 8. At 8:30, it was just something called Roundhouse. I don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
At 9, it was Ren and Stimpy, and at 9:30, it was Are You Afraid of the Dark?
See, I feel like that Ren and Stimpy snuck in there, but I don't ever... Ren and Stimpy was another Sunday morning one for me. Okay.
And so from 1993 to October of 94, it was Clarissa, Pete and Pete, Ren and Stimpy, Are You Afraid of the Dark, and Roundhouse at 10.
Oh, an extended Snick.
And in 1994 is All That, Roundhouse, Ren and Stimpy, Are You Afraid of the Dark? So this Roundhouse show...
this Roundhouse
for actually not knowing what the hell
should have a bigger impact on my life.
And then some of the other shows that were on it, I'm not going to continue to, was The Secret World of Alex Mack, which was on for a while.
Yeah.
And then for a while, it was Doug, Rugrats, Rocco, Ren and Stimpy.
That was a Snick lineup?
It was just December 24th, 1995, it says. Oh, okay. And then it says early 96 to spring 96, it was Secret World of Alex Mack, Space Cases, All That, Are You Afraid of the Dark? But yeah, Rugrats, Animorphs, Kenan and Kel, Angry Beavers.
If it was an Animorphs, I feel like that I might have been older by then.
Pete and Pete made its return.
Really?
Space Cases.
What was Erie, Indiana on? That wasn't a Nickelodeon thing, was it?
That was on Fox after X-Men at 11:30 a.m. on Saturday mornings.
How the fuck do you pull that out of your ass?
Because I loved it. Because X-Men was on at 11, and Erie, Indiana was on at 11:30.
I don't know if I ever watched X-Men on TV. I think it was just always the Pizza Hut tapes, like over and over.
You just watched Night of the Sentinels, and
yeah, I feel like Night of the Sentinels, and like the same thing. Like I always used to go to the video store and rent the same like Turtles tape, and at that time it was like 2 episodes.
That's funny
because that's all you had. I mean, to think about it now is ridiculous.
Right.
But I had the Night of the Sentinels.
Did you have Enter Magneto Deadly Reunions as well, or just the first?
I feel like I just had Sentinels. I probably saw Magneto, maybe at your place.
I didn't have it. I had Night of the Sentinels only too.
Okay. I don't know. But yeah. So
I watched it so many times though. Remember the Stan Lee, and there was 4 of them sitting there talking about shit at the beginning of it.
All right. So then, like another thing is, I feel like that this is kind of like Goosebumps in the random like there are celebrities that have shown up. And Are You Afraid of the Dark? And it is a Canadian show, just like Goosebumps was, that kind of got picked up here. So I found a list of celebrities. Now the list is 19 celebrities you didn't know were on Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Okay.
I don't know most of these people, but we do have Tatyana Ali.
Okay.
Best known as Ashley Banks on Fresh Prince.
Right.
Of course, and I feel like he was in Goosebumps. I think he's in like the picture one, Say Cheese and Die.
Oh, Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, Ryan Gosling's in an episode.
I didn't know he was on it.
Now, none of these episodes that I watched have any of these celebrities. These are different episodes.
Okay.
Will Friedle, which is the older brother of Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
And the voice of Batman, in Batman Beyond. He's in one.
Eric,
yeah.
Okay.
Nev Campbell was in an episode. Let's get through. What's his name? He's in American Pie. Is he the one that fucked Stifler's mom?
Finch.
Okay, yeah.
Fitch? Is it Fitch or Finch?
Finch. I'll go with Finch.
Okay.
Wait, oh no, it just says banging Stifler's mom in American Pie. Gotcha. Eddie K. Thomas. We got Tia and Tamara.
Ah,
they were in an episode, which I'm guessing by the photo, they were just one of them.
Okay.
And they probably switched out. Alicia Cuthbert. Melissa Joan Hart was playing double duty. I cannot say his last name. Jay Baruchel. He's in Undeclared, and he's in This Is the End. He's friends with all the like James Franco and Seth Rogen, all them. He's in Almost Famous. He's in Knocked Up. Yeah. Good old Hayden Christensen. And that might be some of the bigger ones. I don't know who these other people are. Not to say they're not famous. I just don't know who they are. So
Interesting.
I mean, like Kim Schrainer from Canada's Spynet.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, this is another one of those kind of it birthed some celebrities. Probably just Ryan Gosling. After, I mean, I guess Tia and Tamara.
Yeah.
People know who they are. So yeah, what would you say Afraid of the Dark is? I mean, I compared the Goosebumps, but it's like a 20-minute show. It's a half-hour show or whatever.
Yeah,
geared towards kids that, you know, it's scary stories.
Yeah, it's campfire stories.
Yeah. Which every episode started off around a campfire.
Yeah.
With a group of teenagers.
Yeah, I'd say teens.
That get together.
The one kid with the glasses always looked older to me. Alex says.
The guy that always put out the fire. He was kind of
David.
David. I have them all written down. I'm not to that part yet. I try to get their names, but actually the girl that's in the Midnight Society is somebody. I don't think that many of them went on to do much stuff.
Right.
But there's still the Midnight Society, and I think it's very iconic. You know, the whole submitted for the approval. They throw the dust, whatever the dust did.
Sometimes not much.
To get the fire going, and then they would tell a story, and that was kind of their job, to get you into the story.
Yeah, and some are better than others.
Yeah, I think that's the same as any, like, there are some Goosebumps that are better, some Tales from the Crypt. Like,
yeah.
Whether it be adult or for kids or anything like that, you're going to win some and lose some.
But as a child, most of them were relatively scary.
Yes. I remember I couldn't wait. And when I was a child, there was never a bad one. I never, like, really turned it off and went, like, that was dumb.
Do you remember watching it after school when you were, like, older? Like 4th, 5th, 6th grade?
Nah, I feel like that was a Fox 28 Kids Club.
It was on Fridays. Goosebumps
Okay.
was after school. But
I don't remember Are You Afraid of the Dark ever after school.
yeah, I used to watch it. There was a period where it was on after school, and I used to watch it.
Okay. So what I did was I had some time in Washington, D.C., and I took a DVD player to a hotel room, and I watched the entire first season of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Now, it also, as I was trying to do research, it seems as though these releases get kind of messy because it was made by a Canadian company, bought by Nickelodeon. They've tried to release them on DVD before. Then someone else bought it, tried to release it. So, like, I've read that the first episode was the laughing in the dark with the clown. Okay. But on this, it's the tale of the Phantom Cab.
Yes.
Which I think we've gotten in a fight, or like not a fight, but an argument about, where I've said...
I think that was Tales from the Crypt, right?
What about if it's the Santa Claus one or not?
Yeah.
And I think it's the electric one.
Yeah,
the electric
I think
guy.
you were right, yeah.
Well, like, I feel like that I've said that Laughing in the Dark was the first one, and you've told me that the, with a the Phantom Cab was actually the first one. So, according to this season, the Phantom Cab is the first one.
Funny enough, the tale of the Phantom Cab, I did not see until I lived here.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I didn't realize it. I never realized that it was from season 1 or perhaps the first episode. But I don't think it was the first episode because I read a little bit on Wikipedia, and I believe the first episode was actually The Tale of the Twisted Claw, and it aired on Halloween 1990.
That's the original Halloween one?
Yes.
Okay. So where do you want to start then? Or actually, do you want to start with the episodes that you watched?
No, I think you should go through.
Do you want the tape?
No, I'm good.
All right, so I just did them in order of how they were on there, I feel like. Or maybe, like, this is the other thing, too. I was too lazy to actually check. I was just going by the DVD menu. Mm-hmm. Who knows if I actually got these the same order as that, but I'll go in the order that I have them.
Okay.
I have number 1 as The Tale of the Phantom Cab.
Yes, which...
And I just kind of... This was the hard thing. I've never done this before while watching something that I have to pay attention to while also trying to get notes down.
You took notes?
Yeah.
Okay.
The best I can. And then some... And this is another thing where I'm starting to have a problem, especially, I mean, nowadays where it's common, of the binge watching. Yeah. Eventually you get fatigued. Yeah. And you don't... I mean, I think I sent you the text of, like, that was a haul.
You start putting on your phone.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I had season 1 and season 2... Because I looked at the back and went, that's going to take me no time to actually do it.
It's only
and
13 episodes.
Yeah, and then so by the time I got to the second disc, it was like, this isn't, like, I'm having fun with this, but it's not that much fun. Like, this is starting to become a chore.
Well, some of them are rough watches, and we'll talk about that.
Which I wanted to go back and actually, like, write down or like mark my favorite one out of this and my least favorite one. I didn't, but as we go through, I think I know what they are.
Okay.
So the first one is The Tale of the Phantom Cab,
which I like.
Yes, I did end up liking this one. This is one of the. Oddly enough, there's only 2 episodes of this show I actually remember. I remember more Goosebumps than I remembered this. This is one of them. The other one, obviously, is Laughing in the Dark. I didn't remember any of these other episodes.
No?
Yeah, I'm sure I saw them. And every once in a while, like, I get that deja vu thing where, like, I think I remember this.
So
like,
I remember probably about half, but then the other half, no recollection of whatsoever.
So this one, the notes I have, and I'll try also, actually, I mean, they're just gibberish, but we have the introduction of the Midnight Society for the first time we see them.
Yep.
There seems to be an initiation. And it shows you how one were to get into the Midnight Society.
But you have to tell a story, right?
Well, yeah, and you need someone to vouch for you. So it sounds like if someone would, like, if you were already in there, and you wanted to bring me in, you'd have to tell them,
right?
And then you bring me, and then I have to prove that I can tell a scary story.
And the Midnight Society has like a tough boy, the little boy, the older boy.
Yeah, it's all the stereotypes.
Yeah.
There's a tomboy. There's the pretty girl. There's the other girl that is kind of in the middle. And so I forget his name. It's the tough guy, and the tough boy, and he has a bandana around because if he doesn't get in, I felt as though they didn't want people to know where they're meeting. Only the Midnight Society knows where they're meeting.
Oh, I thought he was representing colors.
I mean, I missed that if that's what happened. I mean, he is a tough kid, so
he's a tough boy.
He could be a red or a blue. Remember back in the day how big it was? Crips and Bloods?
Yeah.
No other gangs, just Crips and Bloods.
Yeah, green was folks, right?
There's a green?
Yeah, I thought it was the folks.
What are the folks? Are you making that up?
No, I don't know. I feel as though maybe
there's a gang?
Maybe somebody was fucking with me. They were
I've never heard of a green.
I don't know.
And it's even better that it's called folks.
Yeah, the folks.
So what I have right now is that Danny and Buzz, which also I had to watch this with the audio off, off sync a little bit, so I could possibly get these names wrong. It might not be Danny, it might be David. I don't know. But I tried my best. Danny and Buzz, they're brothers. For some reason, they're hiking through the woods and they get lost.
Yeah.
They just get turned around. And the 2 brothers are...
They're at each other's throats.
Yes. Well, Buzz, I'm guessing the older one, the mean one is Buzz because he's named fucking Buzz.
Yeah.
And he is just shitting on Danny. And
Yeah.
it's like Danny's fault. And Danny's got to get out of here. And he's threatened Danny. He's going to pound him one.
Yep.
Wait till we get home. And then they run into this guy named Flynn that's just out in the woods. This older gentleman.
Yeah, and he seems nice at first, and then he gets weird on him.
Yeah, he gets really weird on him. And the next note is, it just says, shady guy Flynn is. Because I think it was something where at first you see him, but then as it sets in, like, why is this guy in the woods? Why is he hiking?
Right.
He doesn't really want to tell these kids anything. And then he takes him to, he says he knows a doctor in the woods. So then my question now is
he told me that I just watched this episode too.
Okay.
Oh yes, he does. He says the good doctor will. Yes. Okay.
So, but
yeah.
so if he says
I was working out while I was watching this episode, so
he says he knows the woods, like back of his hand, let's say, and so he cannot just get them out, because that'd be my first. If you and I were lost,
right,
and we found a guy, I'd be so happy. But like, can you get us the fuck out of here? He's like, oh yeah, I know this woods. Let me take you to a doctor.
Yeah, in the middle of the woods.
No, get me the fuck out of the woods. So he takes him to the doctor. The kid's obliged because you trust adults. And he keeps asking them if they're good at riddles as he's taking them to the doctor.
Yeah. A little foreshadowing.
Yeah. And I even put a note. Why don't they just ask Flynn to get them out of the woods?
That's a good point.
And then there's this kind of, and I don't know what this note meant. I don't know if Flynn's gone, but I think it's when they are by themselves, because Flynn kind of leaves them. Once he's like, there's the house. Go up to the house. There'll be a doctor in there.
Yeah, and if I recall, Flynn's kind of like, go have fun. Like he's almost sarcastic and kind of a dick about it at that point.
That's when he starts to get kind of weird. And I have bushes shaking and hearing voices. So I think that's when they're standing outside, and that out of nowhere, like, it just seems like there's no animals or nothing. Bushes start shaking.
Okay.
So it's kind of, there's a doctor. We don't know what he is. Bushes shaking. It's kind of creepy. So the next note is Dr. Ving, which it really sounds like he says Bing.
Now wait a minute. What are you saying?
Ving with a va.
Isn't it Vink?
Is it Vink?
Yeah.
See that once again.
Okay.
Correct me because So Dr. Vink with a va va va. To me, it sounds like
va,
a B.
va, va.
So that must be the whole
it's-
joke. Because to me, it sounded like Bink.
Yeah.
But then he says va va va.
Okay.
And that is, I mean, that's something that I remember. And I think you've said it. Like, that blows my mind that you haven't seen it to this house. Because I feel like that during our 20s, like, you have said va 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 to me before.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Not this house.
Oh.
My
Living
house
in
here.
living in Ohio.
Yes.
That makes
However,
sense. I
Dr. Vink is in several episodes.
Oh, okay. I've only seen him in this
He's the
one
only
summer.
recurring character, I believe.
Okay. Because, yeah, I swore that you have said this to me in our teens and our 20s.
Oh, yeah. I love Dr. Vink.
Okay. So then I wrote down that he was a doctor of nature and that he keeps wanting them to solve riddles. For what I remember, I mean, he pulls out like a brain, a boar's brain or something
Like that, yeah.
It's an animal brain, so I start to go down the road of like he's asking them riddles to see if they're smart because he wants their brain. Is where I'm starting to go with this. Like, I don't know exactly.
He's not real clear, but
yeah.
And he does one riddle right away, and I forget what it was.
They get the first one.
Oh,
See, that's the thing. I never wrote down the riddle.
The riddle was, how far can you go into the woods?
Oh, and then the halfway.
It was halfway.
Because if you go past that, you're leaving, or you're going out of the woods. So they get that right, and I think that puts
and let it be said that Buzz was having none of this riddle.
Oh.
And it was Danny. Is that what his name was?
Yeah, that's what I have.
Danny was the one who knew it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And was very into it.
But Buzz is still on his ass about it. But he's saving Buzz, and Buzz is still on his ass about it the entire time.
Right.
And then I have that they fail, and he gives them directions to, he says a taxi pick them up. And that was the one of, what is it? You can't see it.
What can you put into a barrel?
Barrel that you can't see but makes the barrel lighter.
Yeah. All right. No, you can see it.
Oh, you can see it, but it's weightless. You can see it. When you put it in a barrel, it makes it lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the riddle that he asked. They cannot answer it. And then he seems kind of sad. The doctor does, Dr. Vink. I don't know. And he tells them to leave, and then there will be a taxi show up in the middle of the woods to pick them up. And maybe if I was in the same situation, I wouldn't doubt this either because I just want to get the fuck out. So I'm like, that makes no sense, but I'll go find a taxi.
Right.
And then I have a note that says, cut back to the Midnight Society, and they are upset about the riddle.
Which I believe that this cutback, which happens often in this season, I believe it is a season 1 thing only.
They never cut back to the Midnight Society?
I don't remember that as much. No, I really don't. But I could certainly be wrong.
Okay, I think they were upset the fact that why would you put a riddle in a story that you couldn't solve? I think is why they yell at Tough Boy.
The Tough Boy.
So then I have Cab shows up in the woods, which it does, and they get in. Then I have a note that says, "Uh-oh, it's Flynn, and he looks dead as shit." So he's very white. He's driving the taxi cab. Because at first you don't see him. They get in, and I think it's the back. Right. And then he's talking to him, and then he spins his head around while still driving the cab. And he's like, "'Cause I'm dead," or whatever he says.
It's kind of like this. It's kind of like the first ghost in Scrooge, the ghost of Christmas Past.
Yes.
Is it past?
He's the past, yeah. Because then present.
Yes, past is present.
Present is the fairy, and then death, yeah. So then he's dead. Oh, and before I get to this next point, you find out in the cabin with the doctor that there's like a hand. There's like a human hand in a jar.
Yes.
So, I mean, but that's kind of, you just move past it, don't think about it. So then we start talking to Flynn, and you realize that he was in the same situation as the boys. He got lost, maybe driving the taxi. Is that? And he got asked the riddle, couldn't solve it, and the doctor took his hand. Okay. And then he had an accident.
Okay. And
died. Is that?
Yeah.
What I thought.
That's pretty much what I got from it as well.
Okay.
Like I said.
Just move it closer.
I was working out at the same time. So. It was one of those things, and I just got my new bench, so I was kind of playing with it.
Oh, okay. I put he's dead and relives the accident while he was driving a taxi in the woods. So he keeps reliving this, and it sounds like that he can get out of this if he solves the riddle. Like anybody, there's a bunch of people in these woods that could get out of being dead or stop reliving it.
Just needs somebody to.
They need somebody to solve the riddle. So so now the kids are in the car, and he explains to them that there's an accident. So then the kids are going to die next in the car if they don't solve this riddle. So Buzz just gets back on Danny, running everything through his head. The last second, he figures out it's a hole. Which, I like these types of things because I try to figure out on my own. Yeah. I didn't get the first one of the you'd walk halfway out. I got the hole before Danny.
Did you?
And I was very pleased with myself of just like...
And you hadn't seen this episode before?
Well, I mean, I had, but
okay.
I don't remember it.
Right.
So I was pretty happy with it.
So you hadn't watched it since you bought the DVDs?
Yeah. But it was the wording of if you put it in a barrel and you put a hole in it. So, yeah. So then they solve it. They go back. But then your boy Buzz gives Danny credit. So we keep bagging on Buzz of like, he's an asshole, Danny. He eventually says, we didn't solve the puzzle. You solved the puzzle. So Danny, yeah. And then there's a crowd that cheers Danny on. Buzz puts him on his shoulders and they freeze frame.
Right.
It's not how the episode ends.
Not
but
at all.
And then it cuts back to the Midnight Society. They seem pleased. Tough Boy's folk bandana gets taken off. And he is part of the Midnight Society now.
Burned. They burned it.
They did?
Nope.
You say things like very believable, so it's like I don't remember that, but if you say it, because that's the thing, Brad has a very good memory. I do not, so most of the time, if Brad tells me it, I'll believe it. So
my memory is becoming shakier.
No, I also don't know if I would have wrote down a note of they burned it. I probably just wrote down the same thing of they seem pleased. So if you tell me they burned it, they burned it.
Right.
So overall, I like that episode.
I did too.
I'm a fan of it. So then we moved to 2. And this is the episode of, this is the book that I wrote.
Okay.
Well, the book that I stole and put on, I plagiarized. It's The Tale of Laughing in the Dark. This one starts right out. I don't think we go to the Midnight Society first, which sometimes happens, but most of the time these episodes, after the first one, these episodes start right out into the story. And then they cut back because someone interrupts. Okay. It's like, why would that happen? So I put that this one starts right out in the carnival, and there's a fun house that's called Laughing in the Dark. Then I have Back to the Midnight Society. The girl has a problem with Kristen, the pretty girl, has a problem with clowns. She can't handle stories with clowns. She's freaking the fuck out because right away I think they describe the fun house as like of course there's gonna be clowns in it. So they finally get her to sit the fuck back down. It'll be fine. And then, I think they kind of, you're a baby. Stop being a baby. You'll be all right. So she calms herself down, go back into the story. There's 3 kids in the amusement park. I didn't get their names right now. Later on, I have them, but I don't know who's... Oh, there's a Luigi, I think, is his name.
Jesus.
A Josh. And I don't have the girl's name, because there's 2 guys and a girl.
Okay.
And I think one of them's a sister of Luigi, maybe. The little girl tells the 2 older boys that it's haunted. And I think they kind of, tell her it's not and stop being a little girl. And then there's a carnival barker that comes out while they're there. And he explains the rules of the house. You go through it, you have fun, but at the end, there are a bunch of doors. And if you pick the right one, you'll get to go free. And let's see if I can do this from memory. It's if you pick the right one, you get to go free. If you pick the wrong one, there he'll be.
Okay.
And you find out that Hill, is Zebo the clown.
Yes.
Pops out with a big cigar in his mouth. I think he's holding a bag of money too, if I remember. And so they start to... So then they start to... Luigi knows a story of the original... There was a guy named Zebo that worked for a haunted or carnival or something like that. And at one point... he tried to rob them, steal money, and he loved cigars. So when he tried to rob them, it's from what I remember from the story, they chased him into the haunted house. The cigar dropped. He burned it down with a cigar.
Okay.
So therefore, he's dead in the haunted house, and he haunts it. And
I'm looking up Zebo the Clown. I didn't watch this one, so I'm just reminding myself what he looks like. Okay.
Well,
I do recall.
I have confusing notes here because I put that story. Zebo stole money and then died in the house because of his cigar. And then my next note just says, trash can to the face. And I don't know if something was thrown at Zebo or what, so we'll skip that for now.
Okay.
So then I'm Josh, the older kid with red hair. He acts like tough kid. He's tough guy.
boy.
Yeah, well, he's the new tough boy. He says that he is not scared of Zeebo. The house isn't haunted. And to prove this, because Luigi and the girl seem pretty like,
They're shooken.
Yeah, I'm good.
Shook.
And so they don't want to go in, but he says that he is so good, he will go in and he'll steal that nose. And if he does steal the nose off the clown, then Luigi has to wear it for however long he says to school to embarrass Luigi.
Right.
So then steal the nose. The real. As the kid so the kid says this, he goes back into the haunted house. As he's walking through like the hole of mirrors, there's a guy. There's not like the guy that pops out. There's an actual guy dressed up like a clown, holding a cigar that shows up in the mirror, and Josh starts to get scared.
Sure.
Because he saw a real person. Then he starts to smell real cigar smoke. So he's starting to freak out a little bit. He gets to where the doors are at, and I think the first one he opens is wrong. I forget what jumps out at him. Then the second one he picks is the exit. So he starts to go out. He's happy. He's like, I beat Zeebo. But then he realizes he has to get the nose. He goes back, opens the door. Of course, the next one he opens, Zeebo pops out. He gets kind of jumpy, gets kind of scared, slowly reaches for the nose, pulls it back. Then he's all proud of himself. He's kind of throwing the ball up and he laughs. He's the
nothing.
Yeah, and he starts walking around.
Thinks he's the cat's meow.
Yeah, he's the cock of the walk, And I don't even know if that's the saying. And so he names himself the kid that beat Zeebo, right?
That's how he named himself?
Yeah, he's the kid that beat Zeebo. And he's all proud of himself. He's going to go to school. He's going to be
TKPZ?
BMOC right there. Just, I'm the kid that beat Zeebo. And Luigi's not happy.
Right.
Because he's aware that he has to beat this nose. And Josh is rubbing it in Luigi's face.
Literally? He rubs the nose in his face?
Well, he puts it on him.
Okay.
I think it literally... Josh walks out of the haunted house, cuts to a scene the next day, and it's just like a tight on Luigi's nose. Okay. Pulls out, and you see Luigi just sad salivating.
Like, shit, I can't believe Josh
gotta
got
wear the nose to
Zeebo's
school.
Nose. How did he get caught doing this?
So then they throw Luigi gets mad, throws the fucking nose on the side of the house. Storms off. Luigi's not a happy camper. Josh goes over, and you hear this eerie music, and Josh looks around. He doesn't feel safe right now. Then Josh he picks up the nose, walks back. You see cigar smoke float out from the side of the house. Somebody's following Josh. Could be Zeebo. So then Josh goes in. Mom and Dad aren't home. Left a note. Spaghetti in the fridge. Josh is not happy with spaghetti in the fridge.
Okay.
He goes and puts that in the microwave, but he goes right back for the chocolate pudding. Every kid, he's got a gigantic... This fucking bowl of chocolate pudding is huge, too. Like, he has his arm around it, and he's, like, dipping his fingers in it.
Right.
So, like, he went right for the chocolate pudding. He's all by himself at night. So then, I think the order of it is that the phone rings. I think it's Zeebo on the other end. He might just be laughing, right? Josh gets...
got about 40.
Didn't even think of it like
that. That was a terrible tiny lister.
Just got about 40, punk. That's my bike, punk. So then he is so freaked out by this point, I think he's starting to feel bad for how he treated Luigi. He might have puffed his chest out a little bit.
Okay.
So he calls him back and goes, you know what, man, I'm sorry. I was a dickhole. You only have to wear the nose for one day. I don't remember how long he was going to, maybe a week, let's say. So Luigi kind of does I was hoping you'd forget about it altogether. And Josh is like, ha, no.
Yeah, I had to go back in there.
I stole the nose. You're wearing the nose. So,
I agree.
Yeah.
You got to wear it.
So then he hangs up. Zeebo finally got... Oh. So then, at some point, maybe this happened before. Fuck, I'm messing this up. It's when the phone rings. The phone rings. Josh drops the gigantic thing of pudding. Breaks all over the place. Right? So when Josh comes back downstairs after calling Luigi, there's a footprint in the chocolate pudding.
In the chocolate pudding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Josh's freaking the fuck out. Phone rings again. Zeebo's back on the phone just laughing. Then, underneath the door, balloon inflates. This is getting... So that night, he doesn't even worry about the microwave, because I think that eventually the microwave goes off. Spaghetti's ready. He runs back with the nose to the haunted house. This is where I have a question. He finds Zebo's door. Zebo pops out with no nose. Josh gives him the nose back because he's realizing he's got to give the nose back.
Yeah.
Gives him a full box of cigars, unopened. Where is a, let's say, 13, 14-year-old kid getting a box of cigars?
His dad had them.
Full box? Like the dad hasn't smoked one?
Possibly. I mean, that's what we have to assume.
Okay.
We have no choice.
Also, this is the 90s. It is what it is. He could probably actually get cigars easier than that. He learned his lesson. Oh, I even put a note. Where is kid getting cigars? He learns his lesson, takes a nose back, guessing Luigi's out to wear it. End of episode. Or at least, yeah.
I recall liking Zebo the Clown.
I do. I did like this episode as well. Obviously, I fucking wrote it into a story.
Yeah,
So-
well, you loved it.
So then, that ends Tale of Laughing in the Dark, the thing that started this all. For some reason, that is the episode that I remember the most. That's always stayed with me. And I think there's something like being a kid, and maybe that time, because there might have been like an It, like the original It. Like,
Yeah.
I think that, and maybe my sister having a problem with it, like, people had a thing with clowns. So
Still
maybe
do.
that's why it stuck with me too.
Sure.
I don't know. Okay, so that brings us to the third one. The Tale of the Lonely Ghost.
And the other thing I will say about the Tale of Laughing in the Dark,
Okay.
every kid wants to go to that carnival that they always have in the movies and television.
Yeah.
Like a fun house, the movie Fun House, but a fun house. There's also Sideshow, but there's all these cool movies that have all these awesome carnivals always, and never have I even Stranger Things had what looked like a pretty cool carnival.
I have a thing about those, and I don't know if it's because of this. Like, I love the Fun House, and like I always try to look for it. I feel like that there was one at the Ohio State Fair, like when I was in middle school, that I went through. I feel like that I have been through one, but now anytime there's a fair or anything like that, I never see them, or like a carnival like that. Like, because I don't even know if I would be allowed, like, because I might be too big to be even fit in there. But like, I want there to be a Fun House, and I like that's another like memory, and like not a memory, or maybe something that like we've used the term before. I can never say it. Romanticize. Of like the summer, and like come to the Fun House. Like there's always a guy talking, and it's like it's something that the ride. Yeah. I've never been in one of those where there's like the ride through, like the murder ride, or like the tunnel of love.
The
or something.
first haunted house I ever went to was in Delaware, where I went with my family every year. They had a haunted house at this big thing called Funland, and it was a ride through haunted house.
See, I've never been on that one.
I
would love to go on that one.
I would love to go do it with Cameron or Brandy or whatever.
But yes, it is very hard to find those types of things.
Anyway, Tale of the Lonely Ghost. I did watch this one.
You watch this one,
and this one follows the what do I want to call? How do I want to say this? The never-ending story or line, I guess, for lack of a better word. I'm not, getting my words correctly. I'm just trailing off at this point.
never-ending storyline.
It's like the never-ending storyline of like somebody goes to stay with somebody for the summer. Is widely used throughout Goosebumps.
Yeah, I think that's a Goosebumps, and like reading.
And Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Reading Goosebumps with my daughter. At one point, I don't know which book it was. She eventually was just like, "How come there's no like normal stories? Like, how come this doesn't just happen to a kid at his house?
At his house,
it's always a kid going to live with a relative or going away for the summer. And now we're on the second Mummy one where it's like this fucking kid has gone to Egypt twice now. Like it's, So this one has a very goosebumpies feel.
Yeah, goosebumpy.
This one has a very goosebumpy feel of the girl going to live with her aunt. And for a ridiculous reason of her parents being scientists and have to leave town because they're doing experiments. They're doing science.
Sciencey things.
But I did make a note. This is when they started creating little stories for the Midnight Society. Because the first couple Midnight Society, they're just there to get you into the story.
Yeah.
As the season progressed, they took stuff from real life and made stories about it. Well, real life being the Midnight Society's life.
Yeah.
This one starts out, and I just have a note. It says, David making moves with birthday gifts. And I feel like David is the quiet, not nerdy kid, but he's like the quiet, just kind of meek kid. And he gave Kristen, the pretty girl, before they got there, he stopped her, gave her a birthday gift.
Okay.
She seemed pretty happy with that right now. And then he kind of had like a, this is good.
Aw, shucks.
Yeah, like, oh, I mean, maybe the girl likes me type thing. So that's going on right now as well.
Okay.
So yeah, we get in the story. I have Amanda moved in with her aunt because her parents were scientists doing science things.
Yes.
She gets there. It seems like her aunt seems pretty nice. Her aunt's a realtor.
Yeah.
Who can't, and there's a house next door that says for sale. She just can't seem to sell it. Sign falls down. She goes to fix the sign falls right back down. So there's something going on with this house.
They didn't even notice it fell again.
Yes, they walked away from it.
Which is just stupid.
And her aunt has a daughter, Beth, who is Amanda's cousin.
Yeah.
Beth, it's an amazing character to me because she's fucking ridiculous. But like,
Yeah, she's
it's the
so
most
over
like
the top.
Yeah, 90s ridiculous with the hair. And for some reason, she has this thing about stuffed animals, even though I feel like that, not that it matters, but like you should be past the stuffed animals thing or like the doll thing because it'd be embarrassing. Like now we know as adults, doesn't matter. Fucking like dolls if you want. Like, but at that point, you can't be caught dead with dolls or stuffed animals.
Right.
But she is. Beth is not happy that Amanda is there. And I feel like that Beth sees Amanda as kind of a square.
Okay.
And she doesn't know what to do with her because she doesn't want to hang out with her, and she's not going to be as cool as her friends, and her friends aren't going to be happy that Amanda's hanging out. But Amanda hasn't done anything wrong yet. She walks in, she seems pretty excited to hang out with her cousin. But Beth starts lying to her and saying that if she wants to hang out with her and her friends, Amanda has to start doing things for her.
Okay.
Like doing her chores for her, cleaning her room. She has to go through initiation to hang out with Beth and her friends. And there's a party coming up.
Yeah.
So if
she's
Amanda
going to want to be at that. It's the party of the summer.
Yeah, she's going to want to be at this party. So the initiation Beth makes up is that Beth has to stay in the place next door.
Yeah.
For the night. Beth makes up this story that it's haunted. And I don't remember what Amanda's actually, her reaction was. Was she okay with it? Was she scared?
Indifference. She didn't believe in.
Yeah, it seemed to not really care. Then we get the character known as Nanny introduced.
Yeah.
An older woman that seems to be living in the house. I'm guessing she cleans up, she does stuff.
Was her name Nanny?
I thought so.
That's correct.
I wrote Nanny seems nice. That's all I put. Because they kind of bump into her. She's an old woman, kind of haggard looking. So
for as detailed a notes as you apparently have, this
that Nanny is the name of it.
Yeah, Nanny seems nice.
So then, she seems all scary and creepy and old, but like
she's not creepy.
Well, like I think they put the music up and like she bumps into her. It's like, who the fuck is this? And like,
it was in the stairs.
Yeah, like the first kind of meeting, but you don't know who she is,
so.
so you just assume.
I could see that. Yeah.
And Beth is not nice to her.
No, Beth
needs her fucking clothes clean. Like, make Nanny do it. Get Nanny the fuck out of here. She's old and creepy. Blah, blah. Beth is being Beth. Then it's time for the initiation. All right, Beth. God, hold on. Give me a second.
Get yourself a drink.
I'm having trouble. Let me take a drink.
What you got in my 40?
A drink in the bubbly. So then, initiation time, right? So, all the girls are there. Beth and her friends are there. Her friends seem pretty quiet. Beth is the ringleader right now, but also I'm starting to get a little feeling that they're not too impressed with Beth. But they can't turn on Beth. So they're standing outside the house.
Her name is Nanny.
It is? Her name is Nanny? You looked it up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Another one for the good guys. What we find out is that, I think Beth tells the story now, is that a little girl died in the house. And all I wrote was because she was teased. The little girl was teased. Do you remember? A little girl died in the house. Maybe she didn't want to leave because she was teased. And so,
Shit went down. That's what we need to know.
So shit went down in this house. Then Amanda goes into the house. She starts looking around. The word "help me" is written on the wall. For some reason, backwards. Guessing for the red rum effect.
I believe
There's no other reason for this to be written backwards. But it does say "help me." And
it's for the mirror effect. Because the world is through the mirror.
The mirror is a big deal.
Yeah.
I put, there really is a little girl in the house! Exclamation point. She sees her in the mirror. She runs the fuck out of there. Cut to the mom, or I guess her aunt, Beth's mom, not fucking happy.
No.
She sees the help me written everywhere. Tells those girls to go clean up the house.
You kind of missed that. There was just one help me.
Well, there was one help me. Yeah.
Now there are several, maybe 100 help me's.
Well, Beth is not happy either because Beth is part of it.
Yeah.
And just like, Mom, I didn't do anything wrong.
She's implicated.
Yeah. So they both have to go over and clean the help me's off the house because the mom's still trying to sell it.
Yeah.
She
wants that. She wants that check.
As they're starting to do it, the mirror kind of changes, and then it shows Beth room full of dolls.
Yeah, she's intrigued.
Because like I said, Beth loves dolls.
She said, "Wow, that's even more than I have, and I have tons."
That's right. I have that note. Actually, I put I guess she loves them, and she can go through a mirror now. Is what I wrote. Because Beth goes towards the mirror, walks through it.
Reminded me of the "Are You Invisible" cover.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's all mirrors too, right? That book?
I think so.
Yeah. So then she walks through the mirror, and she can't get back out. Then the little girl.
Probably my least favorite Goosebumps book in the first 10.
I don't know. In the first 10. I would say, have you read Go Eat Worms?
Go Eat Worms is tough. Deep Trouble.
Deep Trouble. Okay, yeah.
Great.
Deep Trouble is fucking. That's probably. And then have you watched? We're going off topic now. Have you watched the episode of Deep Trouble? Because it has nothing to do with the book.
No.
Nothing.
Yeah.
They end up with like giant crabs, and like there's this island of giant animals.
I read Deep Trouble 2 not too long ago, and it was not great. I guess I just don't like the oceanic horror story.
That's the problem.
Well, wait a minute. I love Jaws, though.
Yeah. That one, it's just... Okay.
It's not good.
Well, the book's about a mermaid. There's no mermaid in the TV show.
Okay.
Yeah, go back and watch it. It's
been a while since I read the first one once. I've never went back. I don't remember what it's about. I remember just hating it. So.
So then, okay. So yeah, Beth is stuck in the mirror. The little girl comes out.
Okay.
And then we find out through a locket that Nanny, girl's mom.
Yeah. Which was a reach that she was like, oh, that's obviously Nanny. Like. I know what she's looked like all this time ago.
So then...
And Beth gets stuck in the mirrre.
Beth is stuck in the mirror.
When the little girl comes out, Beth is in the mirror.
Amanda goes and goes running because now Nanny's fed up. She's leaving. She's got her suitcases packed. Taxi's there.
She's looking for Nanny, and all of a sudden Nanny's like, I'm not wanted here anymore.
Yeah, so she runs at the last second as Nanny's getting in that taxi cab and then get the fuck out of there. Catches her.
Yeah.
She's like, I know where your daughter is or something. Fuck, you got to go back to this house.
She's like, no, you got to come with me. And she's like, I'm not going there. It's too many bad things.
Don't like going in houses where bad things happen.
That's scared.
And then shows her a locket. Yeah. Matches up with her. Boom. Nanny has a locket too.
Where did you find this?
Oh, I think that's exactly what's... And probably in that voice.
Where did you find this, dear child?
Dear child. So then... Nanny goes to the house.
Yeah.
Sees the little girl. And they walk into the mirror together. She gets her child back is what I took out of it.
Yeah, basically she was like, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
There's nothing here for me now.
No, just that stupid dog.
Goodbye, dear child.
Stupid dog girl. Always making me do her laundry.
I hate this bitch.
And then I have written down, after they walk through, Beth is still in the mirror when the two went through. She has learned her lesson, but she doesn't come back out. And this is one of the ones that ends on a darker note. Not everything goes... I mean, I guess everything goes great for Amanda. But Beth doesn't come out. Beth is stuck... No, she doesn't.
Yes, she does.
It ends with her stuck in the mirror.
No, it doesn't.
She comes out.
Yeah. She's just in the closet. Her friends come up.
Oh, shit. Why did I write that? Because then, well, I wrote...
Holy shit, this is a dark episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I thought it ended like that. Like she was stuck in the mirror.
No, her friends came up and they're like, I think there's going to be a new leader and like that.
I did write, Beth is still in the mirror after the two went through. She has learned a lesson. So I must have missed a note in there that because like I remember this now. Her friends do say like, I mean, she kind of like she gets humbled.
Yeah, she ended up having a great summer.
Yeah. So then, okay.
Both of them, Beth and Jordan.
Okay, so it ends on a happy note. And then I write, Dave's present was well received by Kristen, and he got a kiss on the cheek.
Boom.
End of episode 3. Tale of the Lonely Ghost.
Just okay.
This one, when it started out, I was into it because I liked the haunted house and I liked the kid aspect of it, of like being the kids.
And it felt like a Goosebumps story.
Yeah,
which
telling the
obviously
stories of like, you got to go in the house. Because once again, I never had one of those houses on my block, and so it's like I always liked watching that type of stuff or those types of stories. So I was into it.
Sure.
Kind of just, it was what it was.
Yeah.
Which brings me to number 4, The Tale of the Twisted Claw.
Halloween episode.
Yeah, which what you're saying was the original Are You Afraid of the Dark on Halloween in 1990? That's what you said?
That's what I read, but I mean, what do I know?
This one is another one. It starts right off with a monster sneaking into a kid's room, but then you find out it's a nightmare. Cuts back to the Midnight Society. Eric, I don't know which one Eric. I started to get names here. Eric does not have a full story.
Nope.
And I don't think
didn't have a full story all night, they said.
Yeah, I don't. So they're like, they keep giving him shit. And then I don't know if Eric keeps telling a story, because my next note is this story starts out on Halloween night.
Yes. It's the one little kid tells it.
Dave?
Yeah.
The ladies' man?
No, it's the little guy.
Yeah, the Dave that got the present for Kristen.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. He's like kind of, like I said, not nerdy, but he's just quiet.
Who's Glasses?
Glasses? I don't know his name yet.
I thought that was David.
Is that David? I have Dave. Dave has a present.
Dave has a present.
I don't know. Fuck these kids, man. Like,
it's a present.
So even though I'm mad at them because I didn't take notes and didn't decide to. So then I have starts on Halloween night. Shaving cream to the face causes an accident.
It does not start on Halloween night. It most definitely starts on Hell Night.
Hold on. These notes. Shaving cream to the face causes an accident. This poor kid with a grape costume. Vase was still there. So, yeah, they're going out trick-or-treating. And they go to the old woman's house, and they break the vase.
Yeah, and the first night, and then the next night it's Halloween.
Okay.
When they go back trick-or-treating with their masks on.
Okay.
Remember?
I thought it was all one night.
No, it was the first night was...
Then why were at the old woman's house?
Mischief night, Hell Night.
That's the trick-or-treating night. Oh, so the next one's just Halloween. Yeah. It's not trick-or-treating. Okay.
No. Mischief night is the night where you go fuck with everything, and then trick-or-treat's on Halloween.
Okay.
So the first night was Mischief night, Devil's night, whatever. Everybody has a different night of what they call it, but it's October 30th.
Okay.
So that's what they were doing. They were out
wreaking havoc.
And I enjoyed the fact that they hit the guy's... I don't know who this was. This wasn't anybody from the actual show, I don't think. They knocked on the guy's door. Then they went and started toilet papering and shaving creaming his car after they knocked on his door. So I guess it was supposed to be like insult to injury. Like, hey, now you're going to watch me do this
watch
shit.
me do it? Let's say, yeah, you would do it before.
And then they go to this woman's house who is like the witch, right? Do they call her a witch?
She's like an old creepy lady.
Yeah, an old creepy lady. And they knock on the door, and then they spray her in the face with shaving cream. I don't think they even mean to.
So that's what makes her back up into the vase?
Yes.
Because all I have is shaving cream to the face causes an accident.
Yes, and they break the vase.
Okay. And that's something bad.
Yeah.
We're led to believe. And then the next night that makes sense, because then I have this poor kid with the grape costume. Because there's some kid dressed up as a bunch of grapes. And then it looks like they go back to the old lady's house, and I have a note that says vase was still there.
Still there, broken.
It's broken.
Like she was just like, fuck it.
Okay, so instead of candy, she gives him a claw. Like it looks like a dead, animal, hand.
Like a talon.
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
She says
Talon?
it's lucky, but if you wish for something, be careful. The old be careful what you wish for, because it's going to happen.
Yes.
But once again, like the Goosebumps book, it happens kind of like not how you want it to.
Yeah.
You get your wish, but not really
Bird.
how you want to. Do what?
Samantha Bird.
Oh, yeah, they call her Bird. That's right, yeah. She's not good at basketball either.
Nope.
And then I have a note that says, uh-oh, thugs. But I think that it's in a park, and there's some older kids that probably just want to take their candy or whatever.
Socius versus the...
And so... I don't have anything after that until the next thing when I have makes a wish to run faster than another kid in the 600.
Yeah.
So what does? Oh no, he makes a wish for something, and something bad happens to the thugs. Like the kid like falls down and like gets hurt or something.
No, they're hiding in the trash. They get away from him by hiding in the trash.
Is that okay? But is there a wish there?
No, he wishes that the night would just end.
Okay.
And they end up getting away from him, and they've had enough, and they go home. He's like, well, I guess you got your wish.
Okay.
And every time they make a wish, the talon kind of like turns this yellowish color and maybe moves, is the gist you kind of get from him.
So then, yeah, it sounds like that this kid, like one of the kids is pretty upset with not ever winning in one of the track events.
Yes, he's second always.
And he keeps calling it the 600, so that's why I wrote the is it 600 meter? Or that's way too long, probably. Right? Meter's 3 feet.
Yeah,
1,800
right.
feet. Could you run
They're
that?
running for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never took track. 1,800 just sounded like a big number. Instead of the kid, see, this thing, he wishes he could run faster. So in theory, you would think that you're just going to beat this kid. You're going to run faster than the fast kid, right?
Yeah.
What happens is in the middle of the race, a dog runs by, takes this fucking kid out
from behind a tree.
Yes. Kid's hurt, all fucked up. You had to feel bad. And then I put, they accidentally wish he'd lose. Oh, never mind.
May or may not have died. They acted like it was bad fucking news.
So then the next note I have, and I remember them maybe being in one of the kids' rooms. I don't know why he's upset with his parents. Because I have the note.
Was he upset with his parents?
They accidentally wish he'd lose his folks because Canada is what I wrote. Because they kept saying folks. Like, I didn't know why. He's like, I don't want to lose my folks. Like,
Because the one kid, the other kid was mad at the one kid. The race kid was mad at the other kid. And he said, I wish your folks would just...
Why would you be mad at the parents, though?
Oh, no, he was responding to something he had said.
Okay.
The other kid had said, they like, oh, kind of like your folks can go to hell.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
And then my next note is straight up parents dead. I think they get in a car wreck.
They get in a car wreck.
Yeah.
They're fucked up.
And then for some reason, the kid wishes for his dead grandpa to show up. Or I'd like, well, like he had to say it like that. He says like, I wish, I don't know, Grandpappy was here.
He said,
or something like that.
I wish my grandpa was here. He would know what to do.
Yeah. They're using the word wish too fucking frequently is the problem.
Yeah, I don't know why they keep saying that.
You got to learn your lesson, stop fucking
the talon,
using it.
You know.
And then, I remember being super dramatic. I don't even know if you ever see Grandpa, but like, and this car just keeps driving up very slowly because Grandpa had a certain car. And you're seeing the headlights.
It's like this old classic white.
Yeah, and I think that's when they start to freak out because like, I don't want my dead grandpa because they realize that
and they're like
grandpa's not going to show up like grandpa's going to show up as like a zombie.
Yeah,
like,
they're fighting over the claw, who's going to get it. But then once the one kid actually gets it, they're just both kind of like, all right, well, what are you going to do now?
And then it's kind of how do they get the last wish was to undo everything.
Yeah, I wish we never would have went to the house and none of this would have ever happened.
And then the parents show back up. Dog kid's fine. Grandpa's gone, and everything goes back to normal.
One kid didn't win the race.
No, he did not win the race.
Loser.
So I mean, that one's pretty easy. It's whatever. It's just another okay.
I actually really like this one.
You like this one?
Yeah, but I'm a sucker for Halloween specials.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
And I've seen it a bunch, so I think it's one of the ones that I'm probably nostalgic about.
Okay. So then we move on to episode 5, The Tale of the Hungry Hounds. This is one of the
worst.
It's bad, but on top of that, this is when I started I think this is when I wanted to take a break the first day. Because I was there for 2 days, and I kind of had it split up of disc 1 and disc 2. By the time I got to here, kind of wanted to just take a break, and I think I did after this one, and just I watched SmackDown that night or something like that.
Okay.
But so this is the one, like you said, I was trying, and I'm a very big person of, if something's on TV, don't fucking look at your phone. And I'm trying, sometimes I do it still, I'm trying to get better at it.
Yeah.
I did start fucking with my phone. So and I lost kind of the story. It got confusing to me in this one.
It's awful.
So then nothing happens with the Midnight Society, or this one jumps right in. I don't know.
The reason I watch it is I had no recall of this one, and if I had seen it, I don't remember it. It's just bad.
You watched this one.
I did.
Okay. I had the first one
I like you. It zoned out very quickly.
Yeah. Pam's cousin Amy was visiting from the city.
Of course.
says she doesn't believe in ghosts as a suitcase falls open. Now, I remember them being like an attic.
Yeah, and I like this part. It's like the exploratory.
They hear a noise and find a case labeled Dora Pease.
She's just obsessed with her Aunt Dora.
Yeah, 1963.
Vamonos.
And it looks like that the girl, she hangs out with horses. I think that she wanted to learn to ride a horse, right?
Yes.
Was the whole story.
This is
and
immediately when I started to zone out.
And
like horses into it.
The aunt, Dora's aunt, right? Dora is an aunt.
Dora was it would have been their aunt, but she died.
Okay. So like there's something going on there because she wants to ride horses. The mom won't let her. And
because the horses killed Aunt Dora.
Yeah, because I put together that the horses are the reason why she's dead. She just wants to ride a horse. I wrote down again. Something happened 30 years ago. They decide to go get an Ouija board. And the Ouija board says, "Let me out." So I guess that would lead you back to the case. To open the case, see what's in it. I have the note 149 is the combo on the lock of the case. Do you remember how they got to 149?
No.
Why 149 matters?
Nope.
Okay. 149 is combo on the case. I might have wrote that down thinking that it would come into play later or something. They open it up and it's full of riding clothes, which I would assume belong to Aunt Dora.
Yes.
But of course, those the riding clothes fit the girl perfect.
Well, she looked just like Aunt Dora.
Yeah. So then
Aunt
she
Dora
puts on,
and her were the same person. They played, the pictures of Aunt Dora were just pictures of the girl.
She puts on the jacket and turns into a different person. And by that I mean like she just started it seemed like she was possessed.
Yes. By Aunt Dora.
Once she puts the jacket on, she robotically walks out the door. I guess of the attic. See, this is girl goes looking for Pam. Is Pam the main girl that's robotic?
Yes.
I think so. Oh yeah, there's Amy and Pam. So Amy goes and looks for Pam, and goes to the graveyard. She finds Pam there at Aunt Dora's grave. And then see, this is like there's a fox and there's dogs and there's a horse. And
yes.
She says that a fox leaves her presence. Do you know what that means?
Yeah. No. I know that the fox saves her in the end.
But like, was the fox around during Aunt Dora's time? Or the problem was that the fox wasn't around and the dogs were able to kill. Did the dogs kill Aunt Dora? Because there's this old man too. Okay,
I don't
like
know
it is starting to kind of
the
come back to
man
me.
was.
The hounds tore something apart. The horse tripped. Like I have all these random notes. Dead guy shows up in the graveyard to tell her to feed the hounds.
No wonder, dude. It's no wonder at this point that you were like, this story is so bad.
Well, okay, so is the guy dead that shows up in the graveyard?
Yeah.
Was he there?
Because he thought that it was
he
Dora.
alive during Aunt Dora's time?
Yeah, he thought that it was Dora.
So was Aunt Dora in real life when she was alive supposed to feed the hounds?
I don't know.
And didn't, and then the hounds killed her?
I'm not sure.
Because looks like Dora starved the hounds. Girl gets locked in the barn. Now other girl has to feed the hounds.
At this point, I was full on like Instagram.
Pam gets out. Pam opens the door and hounds are unleashed. Yeah, because Pam's still possessed. The girl's trying to get her to stop. Pam opens the door. These ghost dogs run at Amy, and Amy gets up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put, hey, they're ghost dogs, right? Then this fox comes in and distracts the dogs. They run out. Then all of a sudden, Pam seems to be back to normal.
Yeah, everything's fine.
But why?
I don't, like I said, we should just move on to the next one because this is so bad. Like it was so convoluted at the end where all of a sudden this old guy shows up and I was just like, oh Jesus.
Okay. Well, then we're done with number 5, which is Tale of the Hungry Hounds. So we get to 6, The Tale of the Super Specs.
Now I remember liking this one.
I like this one,
but
this
I
is
did
one
not
that
watch it.
We found out. Okay, we found out more back. Oh, you didn't watch this one? We found out more backstory of the members of the Midnight Society. Gary is the guy with glasses.
Gary.
So far, that's what I have here.
Shit,
Gary works at his dad's magic shop.
Oh, okay.
And Kristen is there talking to him, and I put members think Gary is slipping in his old age.
Yeah, 'cause he is older.
Yeah, but she says something of like, your stories haven't been that good lately. We've been talking. All right, you need to step up your game, kind of type thing. So it kind of, he looks at these glasses, right, that they sell at the magic store. And then it cuts to the actual Midnight Society, and I wrote, David is sick. I just wanted to put this down because I think it might come back to bite us in the end, which it doesn't. But I want to at least make a note that David was sick.
Right.
Um,
So this is a little, certainly a They Live type of deal here.
yes. And this one actually has some creepy fucking images in it.
The shadow people?
The shadow people, it is actually kind of weird looking. I put Gary Loves Magic. So he shows up. This is the one where it starts that like a real life event or something that's going on in the Midnight Society is why the story's happening. Because it starts out in the magic shop. They talk about how he's not doing that well. So then he brings stuff from the magic shop and creates a story about a magic shop.
Right.
I see. Gary Loves Magic. Thinks the spell is a joke, but activates the glasses. Sardo. See, I thought that he got the glasses from Mr. Sardo. No, Mister. Do you remember Sardo? If you love fucking Dr. Vink, I figure that you love Sardo.
I don't remember Sardo, I'll be honest.
No. So basically, there's a kid that fucking loves magic, and he's a jokester. He plays practical jokes on all his friends.
Okay.
And I think April Fool's Day is coming up, so he goes to the fucking magic shop and loads up. And there's these super specs, these like glasses that have like, I mean, they just have like some foil on them. Like it has the multicolored type of foil, like the comic book trading card type foil.
Sure.
And they're in the magic store. That's when they talk to Mr. Sardo. At some point, he says a spell out loud, thinks it does nothing, but it cuts to the glasses and they kind of like glow. And I wrote down that he activated the glasses then.
Okay.
With this spell that he thought nothing happens. There's the magic shop owner, Mr. Sardo. Or no, they call him Mr. Sardo, and he goes, Sardo! No, Mister. Seems pretty agitated by the kids, just want him the fuck out of the store. He sells them the glasses. The next day, the kid brings all the stuff to school, and the girl ends up putting on the super specs, and when she looks up, she sees a dark figure. And it's basically a dude dressed in like black jeans, like a black turtleneck that covers everything, black gloves, and like a ski mask, but like still with no eyes. Like it's all black. And they're just kind of staring at her through, like, it's only when she puts on the glasses, she takes them off, it's fine. First time it happens, she just kind of brushes it off.
I suppose people would.
Then we cut to the kid that loves magic.
People appear. Well, that's fine.
The kid that loves magic, he's reading a Voodoo Made Easy book. Because that's a thing. Oh, I put because that's a thing. Comma. He reaches around the tree to the girl's yogurt, steals it. Puts a spell on the yogurt, and then puts the yogurt back.
Right.
And then so he's all excited to see if his spell worked. Girl takes a bite of yogurt. Nothing happens right away. See, that's the problem with this. This kid, if he just waited and had a little bit of patience, he would see all this shit's working. But like, she takes a bite, she starts talking, he gets mad, walks off. Then right away, sounds like she sucked down half a helium balloon.
Oh.
Spell works. Magic's real. So.
Quite the wizard.
Yeah, so then later on, she puts the glasses on again, and she sees somebody else. Anybody else who puts on the glasses, they don't see anything.
Oh, okay.
Only her. And then I wrote down, was the word specs just a 90 thing? Do people say specs still? I guess is what I was trying to say there. Like if you saw somebody with glasses, it'd be like, nice specs.
I'm going to...
I had rec specs when I played soccer.
Yeah, specs.
But like, do you think like people still wear rec specs, or is it just like
it sounds British to me.
What specs?
Have you seen my specs?
Yeah, I would take that. I would say they still. Well, okay, the answer to that then is that they still say it in England.
Definitely.
Okay, definitely, 100% fact. So then, I wrote that down. Kid has no patience and doesn't see his magic ever work. And then I put, these scaries are pretty fucking scary, though. And they are in her house now. Which I think this is by the time you see, like, they're not the dudes with the ski mask. It ends up being this, like, black, veiled, like, woman.
Okay.
Like, it's still an all-black figure, but now she has, like, you can tell it's a woman, and it has, like, this thing over her face.
Okay.
And that's where I started to think, like, it's kind of getting actually, like, if this was real, it'd be fucking terrifying.
Right.
I still think they did a pretty good job with it being a kid show, but... and then she goes back behind this kid's back just by herself to Sardo's magic shop. He seems confused when one of his products actually worked. Because I think that he just runs a magic shop. He knows magic isn't real. So when she tells him shit starts working, he has to do this weird thing of like, oh yeah, of course it worked. But you can tell that he is very surprised and doesn't know what to do, even though she has come to him for advice.
Right.
So now he starts describing that she's seeing another dimension, and he tries his damnedest to help her. They go to like, I think it's her house to try to do it, but it looks like they conjured up yet another being, but in the end they get rid of it. But this one's a twist. You look like you're going to make a noise there. Okay. The twist is that they actually opened up a parallel universe where those dark figures were trying to get rid of them as well.
Boom.
Now they're stuck. I think it's something. They're like stuck in this, like, they're stuck in the parallel universe because turns out the figures actually did get rid of them. They didn't get rid of the figures.
Ooh.
So they were actually invading.
It's a very Goosebumps ending.
They were invading someone else's dimension the entire time. So actually, they were the scary ones, not the black figure ones. Brad's a little bit.
Didn't even see it.
Yes. So this one I actually got. I got the ending right.
Okay.
And then cut back to the Midnight Society. Gary brought everybody some specs. Ends up scaring everybody. Don't know how he does it, but that's what I wrote down.
All of a sudden, people have specs. I'm like, oh shit.
So that brings us to the last episode on the first disc of Are You Afraid of the Dark? I forgot the fucking show's name.
I don't remember what this one's
The
about.
Tale of the Captured Souls.
Sounds promising.
Oh, this one. I really like this one. Because of this kid that plays Pete. He is fucking creepy. And I really like this story. So there's a family. It's a mom, a dad, and a girl, like 10-year-old girl. They go to this vacation house. And they get there. And when they get in there, there's a caretaker. Well, they're supposed to be like caretakers, like a family.
Okay.
But you find out that it's just this like weird looking kid named Pete. He has like this bowl haircut. He's wearing he's wearing suspenders, and there are mirrors everywhere. And the girl Danny, she touches one of the mirrors, gets shocked, and she seems confused by the whole thing because like her dad's just like, well, it's an old house, must be faulty wiring, and she's like, wiring in a fucking like mirror, like. And so, like, she's still not sure about anything yet, but she just, she keeps going. The mom, like, they end up, like, throwing, like, I think they're throwing baseball here. Yeah, I think her dad and Danielle are throwing a baseball. Pete comes out, and she doesn't really, like, it's the family vacation. She doesn't want this Pete guy around. So, but the dad's nice. He ends up inviting Pete, like, hey, let's throw a ball. Pete's not good at sports.
He's not
and
athletic.
then, so, like, he throws the ball, and
Nor does he look athletic.
Do what?
He doesn't look
No,
athletic.
and he, like, kind of, he has that thing, like, the first time the kid throws the ball in Sandlot, where, like, he just really doesn't know how to.
Yeah.
He very much has that, where, like, he doesn't know how to throw a ball. And the mom comes out to take a picture, and the dad's once again, like, trying to, because Pete's there alone, we find out. There is no mom and dad for Pete.
Okay.
So I feel like the dad's like, come on. Like, I know it's our family, but, like, fucking this kid's by himself.
Yeah.
So he's like, come on, get in here,
Plus,
Pete.
look at him. He looks like an asshole.
So the mom grabs the camera, puts it up to her eye to take the picture. Pete freaks the fuck out.
Yeah.
Do
He's
not
like,
take my fucking
I am
picture.
not gonna fuck you, bitch.
Stupid fuck.
Look at my hair, for crying out loud.
So then, that's kind of weird.
You think this hair needs to be on photograph, bitch?
Pete, you find out, has, like, he brings, or Danielle goes up to his room, and this is the one thing they never really explain. They put in for some reason, they never explain. Danielle starts to get acne. Like, she starts getting these gigantic, like, pimples.
Okay.
And I don't remember why. I don't know if that's supposed
that.
to show what's about to happen. I guess now as I'm saying it, kind of does make sense. But so she goes up to Pete's room because she's still not sure about him. And it looks like a normal kid room. And he's like, you can do whatever you want in this house. Like, da, da, da. So then she leaves. He walks over and he does this, like, creepy Pete look. And he pushes this big old fucking button that somehow she didn't see before. Room converts into a laboratory. bed goes in, flips over, fucking this thing comes down, that like this container that he can get in. Then you see all these TV screens. He has cameras in every single mirror. And what you find out is that once he gets in the chamber, if you're in the mirror, if you're looking in a mirror, that camera is actually sucking life out of you and sucking your age, like making you older.
Jesus,
so I guess that's what the pimples would be, to show that
she's
getting older, so she's getting bad skin, like we all do, and all that. So like, and then slowly the parents, like how they do with parents, like the dad starts getting tired easier after like he hits like one baseball and he's like, I can't do this anymore.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then he has like one little patch of like gray.
Oh,
and then,
yeah.
And then the mom starts getting gray, and like slowly the mom, they play old people. These two guys, like they're great normal people, but then when they start getting old, they play like they do the hunch. Like it's like how everybody acts when you're like.
Plus, the dad's just cool and cool.
Oh, he's got the pants all hiked up. And
you know what he reminds me of is Lando Calrissian, like with Colt 45 Lando. That he's just having a good time.
Colt 45.
He is on vacation and he's just loving life.
So then,
cool and cool, baby. Let's play some baseball.
And he starts dressing like So then I'm starting to put stuff together in this episode. Pete, for what it was, the family looks like that they're in the late 80s, early 90s, like that little area. Pete has these suspenders, these pants, these pants that don't fit him. They're just all kind of rolled up, old shoes, haircut. You start to think, why is Pete wearing this? Maybe he's older than you think he is. Because if they're getting older, where's their energy going to?
Peter.
Peter's staying young. Because what happens, I'm guessing he's dressed like an old man because he is an old man. Danny breaks the mirror, like one of the mirrors, finds the camera. She freaks the fuck out. So then she's running around the house trying to find Peter, find anybody. She's starting, and she goes in the back. There's these weird gravestones with like a cutout of a girl, cutout of a guy, cutout of a dog. And there's little like tally marks of like, I'm guessing, all these people that Peter has fucking murdered.
Right.
Because there's
Which is really fucking dark all of a sudden.
Yeah, and then
especially the dog.
Yeah, and I put Peter's killed a lot of people.
Does he get dog power?
I guess.
Jeez.
There's a lot of animals dead. She goes in his room, she finds the button, pushes the button, and everything flips back out. And she realizes what's going on. She sees one of the cameras, and there's this old man walking around with her mom and dad on the couch. So she runs down, and she's like, who the fuck is this guy? It's a great shot. All you see is the back of this gigantic chair. Peter looks around, the boy. So then why is he old on the camera, but now he's a boy? Cameras can see real age, I guess. So then she goes and fucks up his lab, foils all of his plans. I don't remember if he lives or not. But she ends up fucking up everything. Like, well, that's like the last note I have. Danny foils the whole plan.
So you don't know if he like dissolves into dust?
No, I'm sure that there's some weird either like fade down, like he's there and then he's not, and there's some like sound effect.
Right.
Or maybe he just gets mad.
Or maybe he's just old and he's like, I guess I'll just go read the paper.
Guess I have to get up and go to McDonald's at 4 a.m. to get my coffee.
I gotta.
Yeah, I did okay with the notes, and then I just gave up because I don't remember if the parents went back to normal, and like they went to normal age. Peter went old or he died, and they got out alive. Like I just left it with Danny foils the whole plan. So I don't know, but
maybe one too many. Are You Afraid of the Darks in 2 days?
But I will say, I mean, pulling that one from memory, that might have been my favorite one.
Okay.
Out of all of it, I was gonna at the beginning of The Lonely Ghost, I was like, yeah, I'm into this. But then by the end of that, petered out. So I mean, The Hungry Hounds was the worst one.
Oh God, yes.
I did like the super specs, but I have to say that the Tale of the Captured Soul was. Tale of the Captured Soul was my favorite one out of that first disc.
Okay, probably not the most fun one.
No,
but one of the better ones. I think the most fun were either Phantom Cab, Laughing in the Dark, or Twisted Claw.
Okay.
I like all three of those a lot.
So yes, that is what I've got now for the first 7 of season 1 of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Very nice. Your notes are tremendous.
And like I said, you can kind of tell ones where like I was trying, and then there's I don't know where it was. We might find it. Actually, it might have been the horse one, or the horse one too. There were times where I actually just started watching it, and realize that I forgot I was forgetting to take notes.
Right.
So like there might be a couple where like I just didn't take them. I mean, I have it for everyone, but yeah, we'll get to the other ones.
I know that the other one has 2 that I really like, and then the other ones I really don't remember.
The other one, there's a rival to the Hounds one of how much I disliked it.
Okay.
So we will get there.
Okay.
And and the Leprechaun one.
Yeah, see, I don't remember that one. I know I like Tale of the Nightly Neighbors and the Prom Queen. Those are both good ones.
Yes. So yeah, right now, I declare this meeting of.
I do declare a coyote.
I declare this meeting of Grant and Brad's Ghastly Gab officially closed, and we will continue it next time. Go watch Are You Afraid of the Dark?
There you go. Season 1. This one.
It's like you're fucking like it's like you only would watch that if you're renting it from the library or like season 1, disc 1.
That's good.
Bye.
Grant and Brad's Ghastly Gab.
This is